Aloha, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks on YouTube, episode 45. So, hope everyone had a good weekend, and we're in the middle of the week right now, leading to what is basically UFC 283 coming up on Saturday, and the second round of the NFL playoffs. Well, I have to admit, the first round of the NFL playoffs was pretty exciting with a couple blowouts, but still. Let's start off with 49ers hosting the Seahawks. And it was a little interesting at halftime. By halftime, the Seahawks had a 17-16 lead going into the half, and it looked like it was going to be the big shocker to start the playoffs, but the 49ers kept their composure and, well, they went on to blow out the Seahawks 41-23, I believe. And it's funny because the next round is actually going to be 49ers and Cowboys, because Cowboys on Monday Night Football for the end of the first round, Cowboys went to Tampa Bay and they blew out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No big surprise, although I was kind of hoping for a Brady comeback, but it just did not happen. And I think it was, I want to say Cowboys 31. I guess it was Buccaneers 13. Anywho, so yeah, I think Tom Brady is 46 now, and I gotta admit, it was kind of hard to watch because a lot of missed throws, and just not on the same page with his receivers. So it kind of goes both ways. Um, so with that being the case, the other matchups in the NFC playoff bracket. So since we know that 49ers will be playing the Cowboys, the Giants pulled off a kind of a shocker actually. They beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. I believe it was 24-17. And I kind of predicted that. I saw that coming. I thought that maybe the Vikings were kind of a very soft, fraudish. I think they were 13-4. When they lose, they really lose. And I remember they won a lot of one possession games, so a lot of games were pretty close, and they actually happened to pull off the victory in a lot of those close games. So they weren't exactly a dominating 13-14. I mean, easily could have been what 13-4 could have easily been 6-11. I guess you could think about it that way. Yeah. So with that being the case, the top-seeded Eagles would now be playing the Giants next week. So good matchups: Eagles and Giants, Cowboys and 49ers. On the other side of the bracket, we have some good games, and let's go with Bills and Dolphins. That was a shocker because Dolphins had played basically their third string quarterback, Skylar Thompson, and he helped the Dolphins go toe to toe with the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills, who were basically at full strength, and they had a hard time with the Dolphins. So, but the Bills were able to hold on, barely, and the Bills will be playing the Bengals who also had a big scare because they were hosting the Ravens, who were also playing with a backup quarterback because Lamar Jackson is a lot more hurt than people realize. And the Ravens had a good chance to go ahead late in the game. It was 17-17, but the Ravens had decided to go for a quarterback draw, quarterback sneak from the 2 or something. And the quarterback, Huntley, reached out towards the goal line, but he never made it to the goal line. And a Bengal defensive player had knocked the ball out, and it landed in the hands of a defensive player from the Bengals, who turned around and ran 98 yards for a fumble recovery touchdown and went up by 7, and Bengals ended up holding on to that victory against the Ravens, so they got lucky. So Bengals will now be traveling to the Bills in Buffalo next weekend, and that leaves one matchup left, which is Jaguars and Chiefs. And for some who may be wondering how the Jaguars got there, I still ask that question myself, because my Chargers, they had a lot to prove, and they went ahead 27-0 on the Jaguars. And the defense of the Chargers, they had 3 interceptions, and there was a punt, fumble, recovery. Yeah, there was at least 5 turnovers, and I think that was all in the first half. And in doing so, the Chargers got out to a 27-0 lead. Fortunately, that's when things start to crack for the Chargers, and the collapse had started. So, it started off with a touchdown by the Jaguars right before halftime, so it was 27-7. I kind of felt it coming, but I still had faith in the Chargers. And then, once the second half started, Chargers didn't score, and then once they gave the ball back to the Jaguars scored another touchdown, so it was 27-14. And then before the end of the third quarter, Chargers managed to get a field goal, so they went up 30-14. You know, at this time, Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker, I felt like he hadn't missed a kick in like 3 to 4 months. So, oh yeah, that's a little bit of a foreshadowing there. So, with that being the case, 30-14, and the Chargers, when they kicked it back to the Jaguars got another touchdown. But this one was only 6 points because they failed on a 2-point conversion, trying to make it 30-22. So, at the end of the third quarter, it was 30-20 Chargers. So, when they started the fourth quarter, Chargers ended up punting the ball again, and don't know what to say, but what was it? Yeah, I think what happened was not only was there a punt, but I think there was Chargers had missed a field goal early in the fourth quarter, I believe, and it was a 40-yarder, I think. Yeah, 40-yard field goal missed by Dicker the kicker, his first miss in like forever. And in doing so, Jaguars ended up not only getting the ball, but they ended up getting a touchdown. And guess what happened? Jaguars got another touchdown, and because Joey Bosa had thrown his helmet down out of frustration, not once but twice, and the referee saw it and decided to penalize the Chargers, which moved the ball closer to the goal line for the Jaguars to attempt a 2-point conversion, which Trevor Lawrence just stuck the ball over the line, and now it's 30-28 Chargers. So here's hoping with the Chargers with the lead, but they ended up going, I guess, 3 and out and punted the ball back to the Jaguars. And guess what? Jaguars slowly but surely got down the field, set themselves up for a field goal with 3 seconds left in the game. It was a 36-yard field goal attempt, and, well, as time expired, Jaguars kicked the field goal. The ball got just inside the right field goal post and defeated the Chargers 31-30. So, a lot of historic first. This was the 3rd largest comeback victory in the playoffs, and the Chargers were at the end of that, and Chargers were the first team to lose a game, much less a playoff game, with a 5-turnover margin. So, yeah, this one was a bitter pill to swallow. But all I can say is, as much as the Chargers had a great first half, offensively and defensively, but Trevor Lawrence, with another comeback, just figure out a way to pick apart the Chargers defense, and in doing so, Chargers offense just kind of sputtered. So add that all together, and you got yourself a collapse. So as of today, or yesterday, the Chargers decided to fire their offensive coordinator, Lombardi. But Coach Staley still has his job. I mean, technically, I would still want him to have his job because I think he's doing much better. Plus the fact that his first season was, he went 9-8, and this season he went 10-7 into the playoffs. So I think it's still a work in progress. But right now, when I'm looking at it, since the Chargers got rid of the offensive coordinator, they also got rid of the quarterbacks coach and the linebackers coach. So there are some parts of offense and defense that needs to be worked on. We kind of ranked last in defense anyway, so the Chargers do get to pick number 21 in the 2023 NFL draft, and I mean, there's some good prospects. Wide receivers, highly touted in the first round. There's cornerbacks, safeties in the first round available, even defensive ends and defensive tackles, even a safety. So that's all available in the first round, and whoever Chargers picked in number 21, I guess it'll be built towards the better of the future. So can't wait to see what the Chargers are going to do. And I looked at the schedule for 2023. I'm looking forward to going to a Chargers home game against the Cowboys or the Buffalo Bills, so that should be exciting. Can't wait. Let's see what else. So with that being the case, I can make some quick picks. I am picking the Chiefs to beat the Jaguars, and I'm picking the Bengals to beat the Bengals to beat the Bills. And I got Eagles over the Giants, and I got the 49ers over the Cowboys. So it should be a fun second round to set up our AFC and NFC championship games. So we'll see what happens with that. What else? Well, yeah. So there, I guess you could say it was the first UFC event of 2023. Our main event, Sean Strickland fighting against Imavov. Imavov. Well, I actually thought Imavov, Imavov, yeah, Imavov was going to beat Star Strickland. Star Strickland was kind of on a losing streak, but Star Strickland got back in the win column. He over 5 rounds. Um, was the better fighter. Stand-up game. Even got a takedown. Got some control, and it was a unanimous decision win for Sean Strickland. So kudos to Sean Strickland. Dan Ige also beat Damon Jackson. It was like a punch in the second round that pretty much crumbled Damon Jackson, and Kopilov threw a kick and beat Soriano, and we had a split decision, close fight between Raquel Pennington winning a split decision over Caitlin Vieira. That was a good matchup though. Could have gone either way. So kudos to Raquel Pennington on that victory. We also got Umar Nurmagomedov winning by a late TKO knockout over Barcelos. It's weird because Umar had thrown kind of like a body kick, and he also followed that body kick shortly after with I guess you could say it was like a left uppercut or left cross, and it crumbled Barcelos shortly after. So good victory for Umar. He is part of Habib's team, and Habib's team is pretty powerful, doing pretty well out in the UFC. So, and Basharat in the feature prelim defeated Mendonca by unanimous decision. So, some good fights, and it's kind of great to see the UFC back up and running again for 2023. And I'm waiting for UFC 283 to start on Saturday, and the main event in Brazil for UFC 283. All fights, it features at least one Brazilian fighter at the other side of the octagon. And the main event is for the 205-pound light heavyweight championship that was vacant. The vacant 205 championship with former light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira, who's going to try to reclaim his title. And you got Jamal Hill, who gets that elusive title shot. I gotta say, I want to say Jamal Hill will defeat Glover Teixeira and New Blood holding the championship title. You also have in the co-main event the Figueiredo going against Moreno for the fourth time. They drew each other once, they beat each other once, and lost to each other. So hopefully the fourth fight will be the definitive end to the four-fight rivalry. So this wasn't really hard to pick, but I am actually going to be picking I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Figueiredo to win this one. Yeah, Figueiredo. And next up we have Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. I'm pretty sure Gilbert Burns will win this fight. That one's at welterweight. Lauren Murphy and Jessica Andrade. Um, uh, let's say Jessica Andrade will beat Lauren Murphy. Um, that one's for the 125 weight class. We have Paul Craig and Johnny Walker. I have a feeling Paul Craig is going to win that one. And then the feature prelim is Shogun Rua fighting against Portiera. Not picking Portiera to win that one. We got Robocop, Gregory Rodriguez going up against Bruno Ferreira. I'm going to pick Rodriguez, Robocop to win that one. Diego Moses versus Melquizael Costa. I'm picking Moses to win that one. We got the Gabriel Bonfim going up against Manir Lazez. I'm picking Bonfim to win that one. Next up, we have Abdurakhimov fighting against Almeida. I'm picking Almeida to win that one. We got Cody Stam versus Luan Lacerda. I'm picking Cody Stam to win that one. Next up, we have Terrence McKinney going up against Ishmael Bonfim. I'm picking Terrence McKinney to win that one. Next up, we have Warley Alves going against Nicholas Dalby. I picked Dalby to win that one. Next up, we have Josiane Nunez going up against Zara Farn. I'm picking Nunez to win that one. And the first fight of the 283 card, we got Simon Oliveira going against Daniel Marcos, and I guess I'll pick Oliveira to win that one. So those are my picks, guys, for the NFL Round 2 and the UFC 283. Have fun with those picks. Follow them. Make your own picks. Make some money. Have a lot of fun, though. Be safe. And, yeah, that's going to be fun. So, before I forget, I am going to a comedy show tomorrow night at the Above Ash Social in Ash Street, downtown San Diego. It's going to be run by Cash Comedy, Cash Habib, and it should be a fun show. There's some new comics on there I haven't seen yet, so I'm looking forward to it. And more comedy shows to come after that. So still planning out to see which shows I'm going to go to, and I'll review them all. So, alright, guys. This is Tiggy Maximus. I'll leave you guys to it. Be safe. Have a lot of fun this week. The rain is starting to kind of stop, so hopefully it won't be back for a little while. It's been pretty brutal. A lot of potholes throughout San Diego. So yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have fun. Tiggy Maximus signing off.